Started tracking up in Scotland in a big old house. We did a lot of loud things there because it was in the countryside. We could make a lot of noise. And then we went to our old practice space, which was in a basement in Hammersmith, and finished it there over a couple of weeks.
We recorded it with a friend of ours called Peter Miles. We've known him for a while. He's been in numerous punk bands and the like.
Yeah.
I thought it would make sense because he kind of understood what we were trying to portray in that record.
Yeah. He's an interesting guy in that he comes from quite a punk rock DIY background, but can do a lot of quite complicated and interesting things with digital, like after production, I guess. And we quite like that mixture of a very do-it-yourself, like organic, just kids in a practice room feel, which is what we are and we grew out of, but mixed with something that's a bit glossier than just recording, you know, crappy demos. So we thought it was like a nice middle ground between, you know, paying loads of money for some massive producer to make you sound like the Foo Fighters, and being Nirvana, if you like. I think people seem to dig it. We took an awfully long time to release the record as a follow-up to the first one, so it's interesting because you see people kind of growing up, but I think for better or worse we grew up too, so the record kind of charts that, and for some people certainly, I think people seem to have got that. Like, there's been a few people out there who seem to have got like what's happening behind the songs and stuff, so generally I'm pleased. I guess it's just...
Well, that's the title in a nutshell, right?
Exactly, yeah, the wages of fear. Like, the record, I think we had an odd experience, I suppose, with our first album in that we were just kids and we made a record for fun, really, and then it came out and we sort of, a few people kind of went, oh, like, this is not awful. And we got weird stuff happen to us, like, record labels flew up to see us play in, like, Aberdeen and stuff, and you start being like, wow, maybe I could be a musician. And then that sort of went for whatever it doesn't pan out, I guess. And then it's tough, like writing songs, and I think doing anything creatively takes an awful lot of time. You guys do it with this. Like, everyone has their projects, and I think music and being in a band can take an awful lot of time. And as your life sort of develops and you want to get your own like flat and maybe a car and like pay your rent and your phone bill and your electricity bill and buy food to eat, you sort of, those, you know, your time sort of has to be apportioned off into, you've got to do your job for 8 hours a day or more, and if you're on minimum wage, because you spend all your time being in a band so you don't really have any other skills, then you have to work extra time to get, you know, the same amount of money. So
it's sort of a hard balance.
Yeah, it's about that balance. I don't want to seem like I'm bitching about it, and like I don't feel like I deserve anything. Particularly, I don't, you know, it is what it is. I think everyone in their 20s seems to have to deal with the idea that there's certain things that when they were like 16, 17, 18, even going off to university, they thought that maybe they could do with their lives, and they have to kind of roll with all sorts of weird punches that show up, and not give up on that, but develop, I suppose, and work out how to be happy and also survive.
Like, you know, the whole music industry now is like, it spans like the whole medium of media. So like, sometimes you have to kind of go into those roles that you feel uncomfortable in being. You know, like. He
never felt uncomfortable. He
was wearing a beard and
yeah, I think
like Sigmund Freud. But
like if someone goes listen to this band, and then I go and look at them on the internet, if they have some MP3s, but then they also have a video of maybe the same songs, I'll always watch the video. I think it gives you an element of the personality of the band as well. If it's an opportunity to do that. Some videos don't show the band at all, and that's a decision too. But I think we sort of, maybe inadvertently made the first video that we made that was like a bit nuts was, I think, the Wasps video. And that was really the personality of the guy who made the video, sort of spent some time with us and went, I'm going to do this. And we showed up not really knowing what we were getting ourselves into. But after that, I think we saw that it was a chance to get the character of the band across, because we joke about a lot too. Like, our songs can be quite sad and serious sometimes, but I like it. I think it's charming. I think that's the right word for it. And it's an opportunity to stick in someone's brain, you know? If you could very easily do a video where you're in a room looking, well, we would never look great, but looking like, okay, and he would look great, actually. He did look great. But, you know, that's easy, but why not do something weird that people are going to remember? And, like, you obviously noticed them, and that means a lot. Like, it's just sort of another way, like, little weird thing you can do as a band that people would maybe like and think, I get these guys, like, I'd like to hang out with them or see them, and I think that's massively important. So, yeah, I don't know, it's become this weird thing that we do, but
it's just kind of become that, really. Like, I guess we need to honour that.
It's sort of one-upsmanship now, in that each time you do it, you're like, well, what are we going to be doing this time? And if they went, you'll just like need some lights, and you'll probably like, you know, some rain and like wind machines, we're all going to go, that's nothing. I swam in a lake, man.
Yeah,
like, I wore wide fronts and ran into the sea. It's like, come on. We just keep plugging away. A lot of my favourite bands just stuck it out and worked and worked and worked. It just comes back to us feeling better when we do it than when we don't do it. And as long as that continues, I think we will keep doing it.